But first, the fires in California rage on, and so does the controversy around them. As of now, we know that at least 7 people are dead and thousands of structures are damaged or destroyed, more than 9,000 in the Palisades and Eaton fires alone. And we also know, sadly, that those numbers are all but surely expected to increase. And again, though, even as we tally all of the damage up, we have to ask the question, how did this happen? I mean, we know fires are a thing in Los Angeles, just as they are in Australia, and that the Santa Ana winds which drive them are a phenomenon. So how was the city so unprepared? Now, last night I gave you a rundown of all the different ways in which the disaster still unfolding in California was made worse, much worse, by the corrupting influences of environmental lunacy, Democrat corruption, and the DEI cult. Well, as they say in the TV commercials, but wait, there's more, because I want to start this off by saying, of course, that the actual firefighters and emergency teams on the ground are doing incredible jobs. Just look at this amazing water drop by a helicopter right along the fire front. That's daring, and that's skill, and that's heroism. But these heroes, and indeed all of California, have been let down by their bosses, the elected officials and bureaucrats who have made their jobs so much harder and their state that much more dangerous. I want to play something for you here that is, to me, absolutely unbelievable, and yet it's true. Because, for years and years and years, when there have been fights about diversity in outfits like fire departments, the argument has always been, well, I don't really care who pulls me out of a fire, so long as they are strong enough to do so. So how on earth could anyone argue against that, right? Well, meet Los Angeles Fire Department Deputy Chief Christine Larson. Here she is explaining why, if you think firefighting is just about being the strongest and most capable, you are very, very wrong.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or, you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Did you get that? Yeah, that's right. She says that if you get caught in a fire, maybe you better check your privilege and realize why it's your own damn fault. Honestly, this here, what you saw right there, that is DEI in a nutshell. Because if you're white, well, you probably don't deserve saving anyway. If Christine Larson or her ilk are too out of shape to save you, well, that's your own damn problem. You shouldn't have been in the fire in the first place, they say. But, as she said at the start of the video, well, if you're a person of color, well, yeah, then we'll save you, and we'll make sure that the person who comes to the rescue ticks all the right diversity boxes. And this is before we get into every other policy fail that has made these fires so much worse. Last night, we went over the water diversion policies and dam removal programs, which may very well have contributed to the lack of water available to fight the fires, and how the mayor of LA, Karen Bass, was off in Ghana when the fires broke out. And we spoke to a local who explained how, in the name of social justice, that is, fighting high premiums, California drove out insurance companies, meaning many, many, many homeowners will be left penniless. All of this, by the way, is why I've always said that what are sometimes derisively called the culture wars really do matter in a real practical sense, because that's what we're seeing here in California. Hard left, radical progressive insanity never just stays quarantined, behind the university gates. It infects and poisons everything it touches, turning the once great and productive state of California into a third world dump, where one of the city's deputy mayors a few weeks ago had his home raided by the FBI on suspicion of making bomb threats. What's going on in this place? At the same time, citizens have been left to fend essentially for themselves. The latest threat now with the fires is apparently looters. To put it another way, about the culture wars, well, you may not be interested in the culture wars, but as these progressive policies rolling out in California show you, the culture wars certainly are interested in you. And again, you have to feel so sorry for the poor people of Los Angeles, even if they're the ones who keep voting in this insanity. Insanity which saw $17 million cut from the fire department's budget last year. Gosh, I don't know. I mean, if it's climate change that's behind all these fires, wouldn't they want to be putting money into the fire department? But as this graphic shared last year by the city's financial controller proved, that left the city free to spend more money on, as Elin Van Alta from the Daily Caller reports, gay choirs, trans cafes, and social justice art. According to Van Natta, Los Angeles allocated $100,000 to the Civil and Human Rights and Equity Department for a midnight stroll transgender cafe, according to his 2024-25 budget. The funding's purpose is to support a safe haven for unsheltered transgender individuals in Hollywood, the document noted. The budget also allocated $13,000 for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender Heritage Month programs. Which month is that? And $14,010 to the Gay Men's Chorus of Los Angeles. Los Angeles African American History Month, American Indian Heritage Month, Latino Heritage Month, and Asian American History Month programs were all also allocated $13,000. Now, all a drop in the bucket, I know, of a multi-billion-dollar budget, and all worthy causes, I am sure, but again, perhaps not as important as, the fire department.